Under the Radar, bringing movies and people together, one frame at a time. Hey guys, I'm Randy Younger, and this is another episode of Under the Radar, bringing movies and people together, one frame at a time. And for purposes of today, we're actually going to be discussing a really great TV show. And with me, we have star of the show, Deborah Ayorinde. Hey, Deborah, how's it going?
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you so much for taking the time today. I know you're a busy woman.
Thank you.
And yeah, this series is nuts. I watched a couple episodes from Covenant. I watched a couple of episodes from this season, The Scare. And first question is, what was it like transitioning from 1953 to 1991?
That was such, it was very, very challenging because the role of Lucky in the first season is very, very near and dear to my heart. And so to kind of leave her, in that story, to make room for Dawn was very, very challenging. But I had to do it and to allow the story, to allow Dawn to take up as much space as she needed. But yeah, I needed to because this story is a different story in itself.
Mhm. And it's a great story. It's very impactful. The themes are so strong all throughout this season and the previous. I just had the privilege of speaking with Joshua, and he told me a little bit about how this, I mean, basically at the core, this series is about protecting those who need to be protected, those who are vulnerable. Sure, you've got the themes of racism
Yeah.
and abuse. That's obviously very important. But I think at the core, this series should focus, it does focus on just protecting the vulnerable.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I'm just curious, in the previous season, in this season, did you draw on any real life experience for your role?
Yeah, so for me, so this season also one of the themes is about memory and how that affects us, whether we know it or not, you
Mm,
know. And so for me, it really inspired me to kind of take a look at my own life and take a look at, a lot of the things that I've experienced in my own life and how that might affect my choices and how that might affect me subconsciously without even me realizing it. I think that's something that a lot of people can relate to. I think both characters I played on the show are so strong and so they take up space. They're strong feminine characters, but they're also very vulnerable. They're protecting so many, but they also need to be protected.
yeah.
Um, and that's something that I just it felt so freeing to explore because, when you are a strong woman, when you are, successful in your own right and you're smart and you want to show up and do great every single time, a lot of times you can leave behind your vulnerabilities,
Right.
the times where you don't know, where you're scared, where you're unsure. And so to, allow space for these characters to feel that felt like I was also allowing my space, my self space to feel those things as well.
Yeah. It's okay for the hero to ask for help too, right? Um, Now, what was it like working with Little Marvin?
Oh, first of all, I'm just honestly, he is such a genius,
Mm,
so smart. And I really trust him, you know, in a way that is really important to create such a story because, when you're an actor, you put the work out there and you kind of leave it in the hands of so many people and so many processes that you're not a part of. And you just hope that it comes out well. You just leave it all on the table. And with LM, I don't worry that it's going to come out great. I don't worry. And I'm so honored that he keeps on calling me. And I hope that he
mm.
keep on calling me.
I hope so too. That's amazing. Yeah. Keep it up. Keep it up. Um, Now, another individual you worked with on this season specifically was Wayne Knight. Now, I am a huge Seinfeld. I consider myself a Sign head. Uh, I love Jurassic Park. Uh, I love this man so much. I think he's hilarious. What was it like working with Wayne?
Oh my gosh, he's also a beautiful person. We literally would just sit and just talk about life. Like, honestly, like, I just felt so spoiled in this season just to sit with like legends and just talk about life. Like, talk about the many lives they've lived and the things that they've learned along the way. And just like, honestly, like, it felt, yeah, he just was so just warm and open, and we just talked, honestly. I really, really, he has a special place in my heart.
That's great. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
Um, and now I also asked Josh this, but were there any challenges you faced, not just on this season, but on Covenant as well?
Hmm. Gosh, challenges. Man, I think, well, one challenge was separating the two. Um,
Mm.
Separating the two stories was really, really hard for me. Because Lucky is, it's almost like you have your firstborn, and
Okay.
it's like you love on that firstborn, and that is firstborn. And then you have another baby, and it's like you also love the other baby too. And this is
Right.
still your firstborn, but this is also your, you know, like so it just felt like, okay,
Mm.
now I'm caring for two kids now.
Right.
So that was
Well,
just a beautiful, challenging thing.
I guess I kind of agree with that sentiment because my show is my baby,
Hmm.
and but I don't have any other shows. I don't know
Mm,
if I branched off from this. Maybe I will feel that that second show will be like a second child, but right
exactly.
now it's going to be an only child for a while. I think. See, I don't know. You know, it's because you know food and diapers are expensive. Um, So, all right. I'm just curious, what do you hope audiences ultimately take away from them?
Oh my gosh, I really hope that they really just allow themselves to feel the bittersweet nostalgia. You know, I really hope that, because I feel like this installment really not only explains, but it makes sense of a lot of the things in the first installment.
Mhm.
And so I really just hope that they can appreciate that, and just appreciate the beautiful art that we're offering to the world. So yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love that. And I was going to ask you at other if there were any other projects you're working on now that you can discuss real quick.
Yeah, so I'm stepping into producing right now.
Okay.
Projects that I can't say just yet, but I'm also putting on my producer hat. I'm also coming to the stage. I am
Oh,
making my London stage debut.
lovely.
I'll be performing at the Lyric Hammersmith from the end of May until the end of June in a play called Wedding Band,
Okay.
um, in a role that was played by Ruby Dee, which
Mm.
is, I'm like, yeah, big shoes to fill. But I'm so excited about that. So yeah.
Beautiful, lovely. Looking forward to seeing that. You can currently catch season one of Them Covenant on Prime Video and season two, Them the Scare, with new episodes dropping Thursday, April 25th, also on Prime Video. Deborah, I want to thank you so much for your time today. This was great. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So, guys, I'm Randy Younger. This has been Under the Radar, bringing movies and people together, one frame at a time. We'll see you next time. Take care.